राधा गोविंद की जय, तुलसी महारानी की जय, श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय। Reading from Prabhupada's Leelamrita as it is. Prabhupada gave me some money that is afraid you keep this money. When you need, you can. So by Guru Vaishnava, whatever position I have got it is by Guru's mercy and the Vaishnava's blessings. Otherwise I am insignificant. So I wish that Sridhar Maharaj may bestow his blessings as he was doing always, and my Guru Maharaj may help me. I can give some service. Sridhar Maharaj, indistinct. Prabhupada, yes, I thought that indistinct. Guru Maharaj wanted, and these Gaudiya Math people did not do anything. So let me try in this old age. The inspiration came and I went. With the grace it has become little successful. That's all. I have no credit. It is all the blessings of Guru and Vaishnava. That's all. I have no credit. I do not know how things are happening, because I am not at all bona fide position. But it is truly Chadi Vaishnava Seva Nistar Paye Chike Ba. Prabhupada ki jai. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrutyam Naran Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudhiraye Nashtaprayesha Badreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhakti Bhavati Naistiki. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 7 and Text 29. Varnashrama Vibhagamscha Varnashrama Vibhagamscha Rupa Shila Swabhavataha Rupa Shila Swabhavataha Rishinam Janma Karmani Rishinam Janma Karmani Vedasya Cha Vikarshanam Vedasya Cha Vikarshanam Varnashrama Vibhagamscha Rupashila Swabhavataha Rishinam Janma Karmani Vedasya Cha Vikarshanam. Rupashila Swabhavataha Rishinam Janma Karmani Vibhagamscha Rupashila Swabhavatam Rishinam Janma Karmani Varnashrama Vibhagamscha Rupashila Swabhavataha Janma Karmani Vedasya Cha Vikarshanam Varnashrama Vibhagamscha Rupashila Swabhavataha Rishinam Janma Karmani Vedasya Cha Vikarshanam Varnashrama, the four divisions of social statuses and orders of spiritual culture. Vibhaga, Vibhagan, respective divisions. Cha, also. Rupa, personal features. Shila Swabhavataha, personal character. Rishinam, of the sages. Janma, birth. Karmani, activities. Vedasya, of the Vedas. Cha, and Vikarshanam, categorical divisions. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Translation. O great sage, kindly describe the divisions and orders of human society in terms of symptoms, behavior, and the characteristics of mental equilibrium and sense control. Also, please describe the births of the great sages and the categorical divisions of the Vedas. Please repeat. O great sage, kindly describe the divisions and orders of human society in terms of symptoms, behavior, and the characteristics of mental equilibrium and sense control. Also, please describe the births of the great sages and the categorical divisions of the Vedas. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. The four statuses and orders of human society, Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas and Shudras, as well as Brahmacharis, Gruhasthas, Vanaprasthas and Sannyasis, are all divisions of quality, education, culture and spiritual advancement attained by practicing control of the mind and senses. All these divisions are based on the particular nature of each individual person, not on the principle of birth. Birth is not mentioned in this verse because birth is immaterial. Vidura is famous in history as born of a Shudrani mother, yet he is more than a Brahmana by qualification because he is seen here to be the disciple of a great sage, Maitreya Muni. Unless one achieves at least the Brahmanical qualifications, one cannot understand the Vedic hymns. Mahabharata is also a division of the Vedas, but it is meant for women, Shudras and Dvijabandhus, the worthless children of the higher section. The less intelligent sections of society can avail themselves of the Vedic instructions simply by studying the Mahabharata. Dasanasta Bhaktivedanta Purpoto Madhyanathimirandhasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshuran Militam Ena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Nitinamine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So Vidura is inquiring. Further inquiries by Vidura is asking about various aspects of the creation. In the last shlokas we have seen he is asking about the demigods, he is asking about the three Gunavataras of the Supreme Lord. Now he is asking about the divisions in the human society. Varnashrama vibhagamscha rupashila swabhavataha. He is asking the divisions within the human society, and also he wants to know the births of the great sages, Rishinam Janma. He wants to know how the great sages have taken birth, they appeared. Karmani, and also their activities. Vedasya cha vikarshanam, also the divisions in the Vedas. So these are the inquiries today by Vidura. He is not keen to understand how some births of some cine actors and in their families. He is asking about the births of the great sages and also the divisions in the human society as per Varnashrama. Actually, we know Yudhishthira Maharaj, he wanted to perform the Rajasuya Yajna, and then he sends a message to Krishna to come to Hastinapura to participate in this. And that's the time Krishna also receives a lot of complaints about Jarasandha. So at that time, Krishna consults Uddhava, what is the solution for this? One side Yudhishthira Maharaj is asking me to come, and then also there are complaints about Jarasandha. Something has to be done. And then so Uddhava gives some direction to Krishna. Krishna doesn't require anybody's direction. He gives the direction to every living entity. But nonetheless, as part of the pastime, he proceeds to Hastinapura, and then he strategizes how to handle Jarasandha. One of the consideration is that let there not be bloodshed in handling Jarasandha. As a Kshatriyas, they can announce a battle. Jarasandha will obviously come with many akshaohnis of armies, and Krishna, Pandavas, they also have big armies. There will be a lot of bloodshed. So they do not want that to happen. So Krishna devises a plan. And Krishna, Arjuna and Bhima, they go to Jarasandha in the form of Brahmanas. They dress themselves as Brahmanas and then they approach Jarasandha. Jarasandha is a follower of Vedic culture. He understands the Brahmanical culture. So he has great respect for Brahmanas. So as soon as Krishna, Arjuna and Bhima, as Brahmanas, they came to him, Jarasandha was very respectful to them, and then he offered any charity. Whatever you may want, you can ask me. So that time Krishna, he mentions, he glorifies Jarasandha and his fame in giving charity. And then finally he discloses his desire, that yes, we have come here to ask for a personal duel with you, a personal fight with you, a one-on-one fight with any one of us. This was the kind of charity he asked. So that time Jarasandha closely observes Krishna, Bhima and Arjuna. They are wearing Brahmana dress, but then when he closely observed, their bodies are differently looking. They are very well built, and because they keep the bow, arrows repeatedly on their shoulders, you can see there are some marks on their shoulders. The shoulders are massive. Mahabhaho. Arjuna also addresses Krishna. Krishna addresses Arjuna as Mahabhaho. And then you can imagine what must be Bhima's Rupa. Must be like a massive mountain standing in front of him. So that's why Vidura is mentioning here Rupa, Shila Swabhavataha. This Varnashrama Vibhaga on the basis of Rupa, then symptoms, bodily symptoms also indicates what kind of a personality, what kind of a Vibhaga he comes from. So here we can see, as soon as Jarasandha looked at them, understood their Rupa, immediately figured out they must be Kshatriyas. And then he asked them, tell me, who are you? Then they disclose, yes, I am Krishna, he is Arjuna and he is Bhima. And then so Jarasandha agrees, yes, I am ready to fight. And then Krishna gives him option, you can choose with whom you want to fight. Now you see the mental calculation of Jarasandha, because he is a Kshatriya. He says, Krishna, you are not a equal fighter with me. You ran away from the battlefield. So you cannot be believed, so I will not fight with you. Arjuna is skinny, is no match for me. And he chooses Bhima. Modern mind, if you have such a choice, let us say somebody comes like that and then asks, okay, with whom you want to fight. First of all, you have to have that fighting spirit. Let us say somebody has a fighting spirit and then he wants to choose. Obviously, he will choose the weakest person, the weakest among the three. But here you see, Jarasandha has a different calculation. He says, no, Bhima is a right match for me. He is an equal match for me, so I'll fight with him. Radha Govinda ki jai. So this is called Swabhavataha. Swabhava. There is a Kshatriya spirit in him, and they don't like to fight with some, less than themselves and then win. They want to really give a fight. It doesn't matter if they have to die, but they want to fight. Sometimes you meet some people like that. Recently also I met one person like that. When the issue came up in this temple, he came and supported us. So recently again came to see me. So very happy to see a lot of people coming here, temple has come up. And then he is saying how he is fighting for another 3-4 temples. One Hanuman temple, one Ranganatha temple. And he is saying, Swamiji, what is there? One day we all have to die. Better I fight for Dharma. If I have to die, I'll die. What is there? Go to jail, no problem. Chanchalpur dies, good jail. He's already gone some few times there. And no problems there. See, you can see his mentality. That word, it cannot come from our side. We can never say such words. Say, oh, jail is also okay, this is also okay. Because that is the Rupa, Shila, Swabhavataha. So there is a division that is required in the society. For example, as devotees, we are cultivating Brahmanical culture. Devotees are all Brahmanas. And then they progress beyond Brahmanism also and become Vaishnavas. But their predominant duties are Brahmanical. They teach people Bhagavad Gita. They teach how to chant japa. They teach how to do aratis. And they also study. They study every day. Like here Vidura is asking, Vedasya cha Vikarshanam. He wants to know what is this Vedic divisions. So devotees are also, they're expertly trying to understand everything from Prabhupada books. Because Shila means Anushilana. Anu means following. Devotees, they're interested in following their spiritual master. They learn everything from Prabhupada's books. So they study and then they make people understand what is this, the transcendental science of Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita, the science of God, science of Krishna. This is what the devotees are. Devotees also, some devotees, they learn how to receive charity, and 100% they hand over to the spiritual master. The spiritual master tells how to spend 100% in the service of the Lord and in the service of the society. So, like that, the devotees are absorbed in these activities. They are not interested in, they are not spending time in building their muscles, building their bodies, practicing the fighting techniques, and it is a full-time job. But these devotees and these simple brahmanas, they cannot do all this. Their swabhavataha, their nature also doesn't permit. They are attracted to be a simple life, centered around God, centered around Krishna. They are not interested in other things. But whereas the society requires, for example, if there is some problem, somebody attacks, these brahmanas, they won't be able to fight. They're not practiced like that. So here, that's why here one word is Shila. Shila swabhavataha. Anushilanam, that means practice. Cultivation is required. We want to become anything in our life, there is a cultivation that is required. So devotees are interested in cultivating Krishna consciousness. And it is a practice. For example, now rainy season is coming up. So the farmers are ready to cultivate in their fields. Right? Because it's a favorable environment. And they try to get the best seed. Seeds are available, favorable environment. Then they sow the seeds. And every day he has to do something. There is a cultivation. Water has to be put, or when the rain comes, ensure that they are all protected and there are no weeds growing. There is a lot of work is there for the farmer. Cultivator, he cultivates. So cultivation doesn't mean we can sit idly and then things will happen automatically. No, a lot of hard work is required. Then only the seed will grow, become bigger and bigger, nice plant, nice tree. Finally wonderful fruits will come. That's because of the hard work called cultivation. So similarly, in Krishna consciousness, if we want to progress nicely, then cultivation is important. And we also look for best seed. We got the best seed. In spiritual life, you will see there are many people offering seeds. Many gurus, they say, no, our path is good, please come. So, out of all these things, we got the best seed from Srila Prabhupada. And He has given the seed of pure devotional service. Now those seeds, we got impressed, we have planted it. Our bodies are called kshetra. Kshetra means fields. Our body is also a field. There is a grass and subtle bodies. It's also a field. And we have planted the seed. Now that has to be cultivated on a daily basis. Regularly, systematically, if somebody cultivates, the seed will grow luxuriantly, becomes a big tree, and then one can enjoy the fruits. Now what is this cultivation? How should we do cultivation of the seed of bhakti? That is explained Krishnanushilanam. Anushilanam, Krishnanushilanam. Bhakti Ruttama. One has to cultivate this bhakti favourably. This is a very important. The cultivation has to be favourable. If somebody, in the regular fields, let us say the farmer, he puts the seed and then he does something which is unfavourable, then the seed will not grow, or it will get delayed, it will not become a tree. So he tries to do everything favourably for the seed to sprout and grow and grow. Similarly, devotees, we have got the most rare seed of pure devotional service. Now that we have planted in our hearts. And there is a process of growing this seed. Shravanam Kirtanam. This is the jala. Daily watering is this Shravanam and Kirtanam. Chant and hear. So, and that whole day he has to cultivate favourably. Cultivate favourably. Now what is that favourable? It should be satisfying to Guru and Krishna. This is called favourable. Favourable doesn't mean it is favourable to me. What is favourable to me, to my body, to my mind, that I will cultivate. Other things, no. That is not called favourable cultivation of Krishna consciousness. Krishna consciousness has to be cultivated for the pleasure of Guru and Krishna. If my service is pleasing to Guru and Krishna, but let us say the environment is not very, conducive to me, still I will continue to execute my duties. This is called favourable cultivation. Not that it is disturbing to my body, disturbing to my mind. So let me give up. Let me give up this service and let me go to that service. Let me go this way, let me go that way. No, that is not called Anushilanam, Krishna Anushilanam, Bhakti Ruttama. It is a different calculation, different cultivation. So, as I said, cultivation begins from a seed. Similarly, all our behaviors or characters or whatever, they start from one single thought, one instance, one single thought that takes up your heart, and then you start working only towards that thought. You are growing. Fine, you are cultivating that thought, that experience, but if it is not favourable, then it goes into a different direction. Instead of growing a tree which can give you nice fruit of Krishna consciousness, we will be growing a big weed. And how it all starts? With one thought or one experience or one word. Somebody said something, some experience has come, Some thought has come, some negative thought, that's all, we go on thinking. So as you go on thinking, it is called watering. And if somebody comes and tells you the same thing, more water. See how every day the cultivator has to be very alert. What are the seeds which are going into my consciousness, into my body, into my heart, into my subtle body? Devotee has to play the role of a gardener. He has to carefully protect his field from these external influences. If somebody is alert like that and he doesn't sow or grow weeds, then he is safe. Otherwise, it becomes very difficult. What are the common weeds? One of the most dangerous weed is this Kutinati. Kutinati means diplomatic behavior, diplomatic handling. This is Kutinati. Keeping something in the heart and behaving something else, just so that nobody realizes what is there in my heart. This will not. According to Prabhupada, Bhagavatam, this is a big weed. One will not be able to progress in spiritual life. So Prabhupada in one place he says, okay, whatever may be one's situation, he may not be even fit for Varnashrama. But then, if he is very simple-hearted, straightforward, and not duplicitous, then he can progress very nicely. He can progress very nicely because why? Because he takes association of the Vaishnavas frankly. He explains his worries or his whatever. He takes the support with the blessings of the Vaishnavas. He will try to progress. Actually, to protect that original seed, to make it grow nicely, he will do everything possible. Favorable means this. Like a businessman, let us say he starts something. He uses everything for that business. He wants that business to grow. Anything comes on his way, he will see how I can use that for business. Let us say when a sadhu goes, even for him also he will see how I can use this sadhu for my business. Or some other businessman comes, he sees how I can partner with him so that my business grows. Let us say somebody else comes, politician comes, he sees, okay, how can I use this influence for my business? Some business people are there so smart. Even in areas like Naxalite areas also they will do business. Other people cannot do. They can go and survive even in Naxalite area. Everybody knows it's a dangerous place. Circumstances are not favorable. But a businessman knows how to use even Naxalites also, terrorists also for his own business. It's risky, but he knows how to handle. Similarly, a devotee, he takes everything in his life in order to improve his Krishna consciousness. Apparently, it could be a very odd circumstance, a very bad word or bad experience, and this and that and all that. Everything he will use it in order to improve his Krishna consciousness. This is called Shilanam, Anushilanam. Cultivation. You have to cultivate. How I can take it favorably? How I can favorably grow in my spiritual life? This is the devotee's anxiety. So, if somebody does like that expertly, he will blossom. Very nicely he will grow. His behavior will be well behaved, sadachar he will develop. All the devotees they are sadacharis. Because 4 prohibitions they are following, they are attending sadhana, they are the best people in the world. So that kind of a culturing is required. Our behaviors have to be very nice, well behaved. And then, so that devotee becomes simpler and simpler in his heart, and then his chanting improves. He becomes purified, his chanting improves, and then he advances very nicely. Okay, so these things doesn't come ordinarily. One has to practice. And how do I know whether I am practicing nicely? You just see the behavior. Let us say class is there. A nicely cultivated devotee, he thinks, no, let me go and attend the class on time. I want to be in the sadhana. I want to chant nicely. Any little time I want to read. Like that, one takes everything to favorably cultivate the original seed that Srila Prabhupada has given to become a pure devotee. Our goal is to become a pure devotee of Krishna. Rest are all meant to help that particular business of becoming a pure devotee. We are not interested in becoming a big controller or big enjoyer of these facilities given by Guru, or not to exercise or boss over. These are all not our goals. Our goal is we want to become a pure devotee of Krishna. Any questions? Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.
హరే కృష్ణ గోల్డెన్ టెంపుల్ వారి మరో అపురూప కానుక హరే కృష్ణ వాణి ఆధ్యాత్మిక మాసపత్రిక. ఇప్పుడు మొబైల్ యాప్ ద్వారా కూడా సులభంగా పత్రికలు చదువుకునే సౌకర్యం, వార్షిక సభ్యత్వం, భగవద్గీత, భాగవత ప్రవచనాలు, స్ఫూర్తి సందేశాలు, ఇంకా మరెన్నో సదుపాయాలతో హరే కృష్ణవాణి మొబైల్ యాప్ నేడే డౌన్లోడ్ చేసుకోండి. మరిన్ని వివరాల కోసం కాల్ చేయండి 9133107700.